Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show. See episode 182, and in this one, we will obviously be discussing that Fulham game because we haven't, went into that really. And then obviously we will be talking about a lot of transfer news that's come out recently, and obviously today the retained list and all of that stuff come out as well. So we'll touch on that and our thoughts on that, but we'll still do a separate video of what we would have done, or stream, shall I say, of what we would have done if we were in charge of doing that. So, like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. Right, good call. Hope everyone's cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big up. Few people waiting before we went live. Smash the like. So yeah, do appreciate that, guys. Big up to yourselves. But yeah, first of all, obviously it is the Fulham game. We'll get into that. So good that we were actually there, Dad. We got to witness a Premier League game again. Shout out to Darth Vader for that.
Yeah, big up yourself, mate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Really, really good to finally be at a game. Obviously both of our first times as well, being in the Oak Road bit. And yeah, that was good as well. Pretty close up. We'd have been seen on the cameras. Well, we was, in fact. I've already sent you some pictures and Darth Vader of us being seen on there. So that was always good for that. But yeah, lineup wise, I mean, there weren't really any complaints from me. It was exactly what I said, bar Hashioka was in instead of Fred, because I believe I put Fred in that centre back role instead. But other than that, it was exactly what I said. So obviously Kaminsky in goal, Hashioka, Mengi, Osho, Chio on the right. So again, he come in straight in really on the return. Doughty on the left, Lokonga and Clark. Actually, I did say about Ruddock as well, didn't I? A lot of us did want to see Ruddock in this game to try and get that Premier League goal. I thought maybe he'd be in ahead of Clark. And then Morris, Elijah and Chong, so expected front three. As for the bench, Berry, Johnson, Krul, Ruddock, Fred, Paisold, Shea, Townsend, Woodrow. So that was that. I mean, like I say, other than Hashioka in and Clark, is probably what I expected. But then again, I maybe thought Hashioka would be there because he has been there a few times this year. He is actually a defender, unlike Fred. So I maybe get it from that sense. But again, it was a game we looked at, and he was never going to get 12 goals. Let's be honest. Even the Premier League record isn't even 12 goals. So yeah, it was a decent lineup. Like I said, I did want to see Ruddock start just to try and get that Premier League goal, but is what it is really there. But what did you make of the lineup when you saw it, Dad?
Yeah, pretty much as expected, really. Pretty much what I said, I think. Apart from Ruddock, as you said. So yeah, it's just whiz on past it. It's a bit of a dead rubber, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't in the end. I mean, the start of the game, it was an interesting one because we were struggling to get a hold of the ball, and we were saying it amongst ourselves, and it was a little bit frustrating because we was at home. Fulham are a good side, don't get me wrong, but it was still a bit annoying how we couldn't get a hold of it. Then we eventually started having chances, getting hold of the game. Hashioka, a lot of people were critical of his performance this game. I actually thought he was better in this game. I thought his aerial, when he's getting up for headers, he was pretty good, just doing the basics. He actually played in the cross for Morris, the first big opportunity. I can't lie, what a save that was by Leno. But again, I've always said that about Leno. He's a good shot stopper. Again, he's another one of these keepers where his distributions are questionable. But really, really good save. I thought that was in. And to be, even though it's, a dead rubber, like you say, Dad, maybe if we get that early goal, just because, it's one of them, you're maybe thinking different. But good save from Leno, like I say. Then we had another chance. Clark, very good pass into Elijah. Again, a good save by Leno. That one is probably one he should be making, if I'm going to be honest, across the ground. But unlucky from Elijah. Great pass in from Clark. And then they got their goal. The only goal on the vlog. I didn't actually get on record. Usually I'm good at this sort of stuff. But I didn't really expect it, if I'm going to be honest. Wilson played it into Traore, who was causing a lot of havoc. I'm going to be honest. I completely forgot he went to Fulham from Wolves, and he was causing a lot of havoc on that left-hand side in the first half. Obviously, he got that goal. Very good finish, if we're going to be honest. Maybe we should have closed it down a bit better. And I felt like that on probably nearly every goal in this game, if I'm going to be honest. Obviously the third one was a set piece, but obviously I'll get into that. But yeah, it was a good finish. But again, I felt we could have done a bit better there. It was too easy for Wilson to play it in. And at that moment, I'm thinking, oh, well, it's not looking good, obviously as it is. Like at least let's try and end it on a high sort of thing. But what did you make of the first goal, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, we had some good chances. Which finally, after they were sort of dominating possession a little bit. Unlucky with the Morris and Elijah. Really, like Leno made some couple good saves, but yeah, their goal, it was too easy to be played in. You could. Some people like trying to blame Hashioka for like making him, for sitting deep and that. But at least he was back. Everyone else was just like ball watching or whatever they were doing, and it was a good finish. So, that's what you're going to get in a Premier League level, isn't you?
Yeah, exactly. You give these teams space and they'll punish you. Simple as that. And we've learned that a lot this season. And then obviously, it was a bit of a mad one. Fulham fans going, "Oh shit, must you be? We're winning away," all of that stuff. And then we equalised. We got a penalty. Kaminsky, what a pass! I know his distribution can be questionable at times, but there you can't complain for me. He's nearly got an assist for Chio. He done really well to run in behind. Definitely a penalty. If I'm being honest, Bassi, out of all players, I wouldn't really expect to do that. Again, he's a player that we said when we was, with Stephen in the last episode that I really rate, and that was a really, really good signing from them guys. But yeah, silly penalty to give away from him. But no complaints from our end. Morris obviously stepped up. We was thinking, because there was a massive stop, we was thinking, are we going to bring Roddick on and have that opportunity? And I remember saying numerous times, both of us did on the last episode, if you get a penalty, let Roddick take it. But I think he might have said, he don't want that sort of to take the spotlight. Because it looked like Rob Edwards, was thinking about it, but then I think Roddick didn't really want to do it, which is fair enough. Which is fair enough. Morris is the predominant, penalty taker. Obviously, he took it, scored, good penalty, and again, I love that passion from Morris when he scored. That was brilliant and good penalty, which now put him top for the scorers this season. 11 goals for him. Good penalty and great ball from Kaminsky to Chio, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, it was. And tenacity from Chio to fight, win the ball back, and that. And then obviously I knew pretty sure that Morris was going to score. I think he's scored every penalty as he this season he's took.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, sure he has.
Yeah, good finish. Sent Leno the wrong way, so I was pleased with that.
Yeah, and then the chance come in from our end, and then it felt like the Burnley game. We conceded straight away again, and that was really frustrating. Obviously, Wilson again, another assist. And when I look back at the game, if I'm going to be honest, for them, I'll probably give him man of the match. If I was to do it for opposition teams, he got 2 assists and a goal. Again, too easy to get him from him. To play that ball. I felt into Raul Jimenez is not even being marked, and just like that, it's 2-1, and they're singing them chants again. But frustrating, man. Like I'd have thought we'd have learnt from that. Again, we know it's a game where it's a dead rubber, but still, you can't be doing them things. It's as simple as that. Especially if we do, come back to the Premier League, we need to, that's something that we need to massively have learned because it's not the first time we've done that. I think overall it's probably the third I can think of. Burnley, that game, and there was another game we did it as well. I can't quite remember who it was, but there definitely was another team. So I think it's Palace at home, even though we won that in the end. I think theirs was quite similar where they responded straight away. That was the other game I could think of. So yeah, it's frustrating, wasn't it? Though.
Yeah, poor defending really. Again, sort of not again ball watching a little bit, but it's because they were. The fights weren't really there. It can't be. You're down. It's end of season and that. But was like ball watching a little bit. And then good finish. I mean, Kaminsky weren't normally. Maybe you'd expect Kaminsky like to make a couple of good saves. I don't think he made any saves in this game.
No.
But typical of our season, really, isn't it?
I was going to say it's exactly what Darth Vader said here. That
Yeah.
summed up our entire season. It really did. Where we're scoring goals. I think in the end we scored 52 goals in the Premier League, which is really good in my opinion. Considering his first season in there, where we actually finished, but it's just defending was our issue. But again, we know there was obviously reasons for that. But yeah, it was frustrating. So then obviously they go 2-1 up at half time, and then they scored again. Now this goal was annoying from a marking point of view, from my opinion. Obviously, Reed played it into Jimenez again, who got a brace header, good header. Don't get me wrong, but he's literally ran into the. If you look back at it, he ran into the box and no one's even watching him. It is so frustrating to watch back. Again, like we say, we know it is. Obviously the fight wasn't quite there, but again, you sometimes don't like to see things like that, even in these sort of games. Where it's obviously it's done, but still it was frustrating and too easy. And I'm not going to lie, from that point onwards, I was thinking this could get even worse. This could be a really bad send off, but wasn't as bad in the end. But yeah, what did you make of that third goal, Dad?
Again, poor defending, but no awareness. It's just annoying. They just need some of them. Again, it's the whole game, really. I think it's they weren't trying as hard as they normally are, and it's easy for Fulham to just to pick it up. And what can you do, basically?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then we got a free kick. Doughty found his way into the net. And at that point, I was thinking, Dad, you know what? You're 3-3. That could very much be on at that moment. Bit of a bobbly goal, but we'll take it. Doughty's scoring a free kick. I think last time he done that from memory, I might be wrong, but it's Gillingham, I believe, in the League Cup. Obviously, he done it last season as well against Sunderland away. Remember being at that game where we got robbed. But yeah, fair play to Doughty there. I do think he caught them off guard as well. With the way he's actually, got it in from the position he did, and the way it, went to where it did. But yeah, good free kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, excellent. Well, me and Darth Vader actually watched it in the bar on the TV, so we had perfect angle of it, and yeah, it was very clever free kick. We need more of that potentially from Doughty. We've still got him next season, but yeah, it was a good finish. And if I feel like if other Premier League players had scored that, then there would have been praising him heaps and stuff. But yeah, good. And then I thought, as you said, it could be what I predicted, but obviously not.
Yeah, obviously not. Then they started putting pressure on us again. Wilson got it laid off, hit the crossbar. Now hearing that very close up as we were, that was very weird, to hear that. And I thought I can't lie, at one moment I thought it's hit my head. Not gonna lie, it weren't far away at all. But again, it was too easy, for him to get the shot away. It was annoying there. And then obviously they did score again. Traore into Wilson. Them two were having time of their life. Let's be honest, the amount of time they set each other up for goals and stuff. That was a really good goal, and I called it. Not that he'd score a top corner, but I said he would score in a corner, and I said that he would score. I just knew it'd happen outside the box. Great goal. If I'm being honest, out of all the goals, even though I felt we could have still marked, a bit better and closed him down, that was probably the goal I look at out of all of them and go, okay, fair enough. That was a really good goal, but at the same time, we could have closed it down better. But like say, the fight wasn't there, because it was inevitable, wasn't it? So yeah, what did you make of that goal, Dad?
Yeah, he had too much space, way too much space. I think we did miss Barkley, and we didn't really have much fight in midfield. But, we're gonna have to sort that right out because we've basically got no midfield at the moment. But yeah, it's a quality finish. You ain't really going to be stopping that. It's probably their best goal. And then yeah, I thought that's it. Just
Petered out, sort of, didn't it?
yeah, basically that was it.
Yeah, and then a good moment. from this game is Shea come on. That was, lovely to see. Obviously, he got his Premier League ball, and yeah, what a save he done! He done a really good save, tipped it over, and yeah, he actually done really well in them 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes that he come on. And it's good to see, like I have said, and we will get onto the retain list and all of that release list, but like I said on the T-Boy discusses the other day, I do feel sorry for Potts in that sense, because I know if he was on the bench, he would have got that as well, and that would have been good, man, because obviously they've been a massive part of the rise. But yeah, we've obviously, given Shea a chance to extend, and I think he has actually extended today. Because Luton put something earlier about that, so interesting. I mean, I had my little discussion on it the other day. My thoughts on the goalkeeper situation and stuff like that when that news come out. So yeah, obviously do check that out. But obviously we'll get more into it as well from both of our perspectives a bit later on. But yeah, that was really it from the 90 minutes. And then moving on, we'll go straight into the player ratings now. Like I say, Dad, with Kaminsky, there's usually been a standout, save he's done in the game or something like that, even if we've lost. There wasn't really that in this game from him, if we're going to be honest. The best moment was obviously the ball up to Chio for the penalty. So I'm not going to go too low, but like I say, it was one of them. Again, I don't blame him for the goals. I do feel we should have closed them down better and marked and stuff like that. But yeah, not a proper standout from him. So I think I'm going to go. I'll go 6.5. Won't go too low because that ball to Chio was good.
Yeah, I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I was going to go with that myself. Then moving on to Hashioka. Again, I don't think he was that bad. A lot of people were critical of him in this game, but I actually thought he was all right, to be honest. Getting, especially jumping up for headers. You look at the Bournemouth game for one of the goals, weren't great there. I think he's improved on that. He was doing the basics in the sense of playing it back to the keeper. Had that cross, didn't he, for the Morris shot. I actually thought he played all right in this game, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think he was terrible, but again, we did concede 4 goals, so I'll go 6.5 again.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.5. I think at the end of the day, you can tell that he's got a lot to learn. But at the end of the day, we're playing in the Championship next season, so that a whole season in the Championship might help him. I don't think it's necessarily Premier League football. I think it's just English football in general that he needs to get used to that. And I don't know who. Because the recruitment team are pretty spot on generally. There's always maybe one or another.
1 times out of 10. That's what I said.
Being a couple of years ago and that, but they're normally spot on. So I'm not sure, if that was particularly like a Rob Edwards wanted him or it's a comment or whatever. But we'll see. He's coming in January. He hasn't really had loads of time. And he's straight into the Premier League, and it's difficult sometimes. And some players, it takes time to adjust. But watching like the highlight reels of him before he signed for us, he looked pretty decent playing on the right hand side of. I think it was a back four more than anything, but we'll see. Maybe he'll play where Kabore was playing if we stick with that formation, but we'll see. 6.5.
Yeah, and like I say, this is why it's going to be interesting next year because you're going to see Rob Edwards implement his style finally. Because obviously the season we went up, he was kept with what we stuck with, but just changed the way of playing, but stuck with the same formation. Obviously, Prem, you sort of got gamble and play in a way where it's not really what you want, but you have to because it's the Prem sort of thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, let's go through some comments. Big up to Paul, says good evening, lads. Big up to yourself, mate. Darth Vader count that's a clean sheet. Yeah, it's actually a really good cameo from Shea when he actually come on. I like that bit as well where he ran and just booted it away. That was sick. Yeah, that was sick. Like, because I can't lie, since that Stevenage game, when he had that Stevenage game a couple of years ago, I was thinking he might go. I'm not going to lie, because he got done up, didn't he, by their striker, and then
he come on in the championship games, didn't he?
Nottingham Forest, yeah, I remember it because I was there. I was there with Alex, and we saw him on the line. Yeah.
He does deserve another year. I think maybe if we'd stayed in the Premier League, maybe not. But because I think we're in the Championship, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We won't get into it too much, but you know, at the end of the day, we've got, you know, Krul, Kaminsky, Shea, the lad that went on loan to Scotland.
Walton,
yeah. Surely he'll be coming back now. He's had a whole season out on loan, so it's not, you know, unless we're kind of anticipating that Kaminsky might get bought. I don't think he will. Or Krul will end up going. Because 4 keepers.
That's exactly what I said the other day. Yeah.
What I didn't like about this season, and I get some of it's probably down to injuries, and that was having 2 keepers on the bench as well, you know. But yeah, that's he definitely performed well when he come on, concentrating. Because as soon as he come on, everyone was like, "Give us a wave," and that he weren't. He was just concentrating, and he did play well, and that was a very good save as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're not rating him at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then Jackie's ratings, 6.5 for Kaminsky and a 6 for Hashi. Fair enough. And then moving on to Mengi, again, bit of a difficult one. I'll just go straight in with a 6, but obviously
obviously got injured, looked proper annoyed. You know, hopefully we'll be able to, because he's been stand out. He's probably,
I'd say he's been the best
one of
defender.
Yeah, because he's been so consistent as well. Pretty much, apart from, you know, that grab that time, and
yeah, against Everton. Yeah.
For a young guy in that, he's been really good, and we definitely need to be keeping hold of him. But yeah, I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, it's like I've said, you know, when he come in, Robert said he weren't meant to play as much as he has. He's meant to be a sort of development player. So massive shout out to Mengi. And then moving on to Osho. Again, I felt he was, you know, a bit better in this game, you know, compared to the last couple of games. Still not the best. Obviously, we did concede 4. Obviously, not all of that's down to him, but yeah, again, I'm just going to go for a standard 6.
Yeah, I don't think he was too great. And I just realised, like I said about Burke earlier in one of the goals, but it wasn't Burke. I think it was Doughty or Clark that you know, track him back properly. But yeah, it weren't one of the greatest games, but I've heard that we're negotiating to give him another contract, and we was all thinking that he was going to be gone. So it looks like we're going to be able to keep hold of him. You know, so going forward, really, are we going to sign any more central defenders? Possibly one. I would have thought.
I could only see one. We've got Holmes as well, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So we've got quite a few. So I'm not sure we will sign another centre back, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, I can't see no more than 2 coming in. 1 maybe. To be the you know, Lockyer replacement. That's all I could see. You know, I can't see anyone else coming in.
We've got Anderson.
We've got Holmes as well. Anderson. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. Mengi 6, Osho 6, same as us. Moving on to Chio. He probably is my man of the match in this game. I mean, it's a bit difficult to give one, but the person next to me, you know, we were saying, you know, Chio's been a massive miss. And, you know, it's when he's doing stuff like that, which I'm happy with, in the sense of, you know, he's running at players, you know, he's taking them on because he's got that pace. You know, we know that he was one of the fastest players in the league. And, you know, when he was doing that, it's really good. You know, before he got injured, when he was, you know, getting on the ball, you know, playing it back, not trying to take on the man, that was a bit frustrating because I know he's very, you know, fast, like I say. In this game, though, he was causing quite a lot of havoc, I felt, on that right-hand side. So he is my man of the match, and I'm not going to lie, I can't wait for him and Chong on either side next season. That's going to be very good because they're both very similar in the sense that they will just run at you, and they're very good at stuff like that. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes in the Championship. We know Chong was very good at it at Birmingham. You know, as good as you'd think we're going to be next year, sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, man of the match for me. So based on that, I'm not going to go too high, but I'm going to go with a 7.5.
I'll give him a 7. I guess, yeah, it's probably man of the match as well. Just looked lively, didn't, won the penalty, didn't really put a foot wrong. Yeah, he's going to probably tear up the championship, and should be able to keep hold of him. A lot of people saying this person got hurt, but I don't know, but the only people I can possibly see going is probably like Elijah and Doughty, really. I think we're about to keep hold of everyone else. And Barkley, obviously, that's done.
Yeah, it's done, yeah.
But yeah, man of match for me, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. Obviously we'll go through our final votes and that on the season and stuff like that at the end as well. Chio 7. So Jackie's on the same wavelength as you there. And then moving on, we'll go over to the other side, Doughty. I mean, obviously got that goal. Decent goal. Obviously, it wasn't the best of games, but again, like I always say of him, he's played numerous amount of games. So hopefully we can, if we do manage to keep him, we can also get a backup, in that position, especially next year, because you don't want to flood him with numerous amount of games again if he is to stay. That is. So yeah, for me, I'm just going to go with 6.5.
Oh, I thought he was decent. I'm not gonna lie, like he was close to being up there for me. Every time he got his crosses in, the goal was good. And maybe but he's not a defender, is he? I thought he was quite lively. To be fair, that could potentially maybe be his last game. I don't know, but I think there's a lot of interest in him because of his assists and stuff like that in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Crosses as well,
like that in the Championship again, massive to have him. But I'll give him a 7. I thought he was pretty decent, and he scored as well.
Yeah, I mean Jackie's coming the same 7. I was thinking 7, but yeah, obviously part of that offence as well. So yeah, and in the midfield, I'll start off with Clark. It was difficult, for Lukonga in this game. Like I say, that we were missing Barkley in this game. Definitely Clark. I mean, it seems like he's probably going to stay another year. Nothing really come out of him today with that team list. I probably would give him another year, but we need to get
still on the contract for another year. So is Pelly. So that's why they're not.
Yeah. But we definitely need to get more, like we say. But obviously, we'll get into that a bit later on. But yeah, Clark in the game. I'm just going to go with an average 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. But the thing is about like him and Pelly, like they've got another year left, but I don't think they're going to be like starters.
No,
you know what I'm saying. So it could be that they've got another year left, but if someone comes in and says, "Look, I want you to start every game," even if they drop down the league, like thinking Nathan Jones, Charlton, and stuff like that, then they'll probably go because they're pretty much probably will start every game. So whereas I don't think they will in more so Ruddock now, I think. Berry is similar in certain ways, and Berry's been released, as you know. So yeah, I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, again, Jackie's coming the same as us there. And then moving on to Lukonga, could have very well been his last game for Luton. I know Arsenal are selling him, but again, I just think they'll put a price that we won't pay. I don't know, we might, because you never know. Like we obviously got, what was it, 90 million from the Premier League, something like that. You get 20, 80, something like that. I don't know how it works, but the higher you finish, the more you get. Obviously, we know that. I think it starts at 20 or something like that. But yeah, in this game, like I say, you could tell he was struggling, because he didn't have, quality player like Barkley. No disrespect to Clark. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go average 6.5.
I'll just give him a 6. I felt his tracking back weren't as good as it has been in previous games, but that might have been because he didn't really want to get injured because obviously he's basically in the shop window, isn't he? And he probably will end up Championship, a Premier League team. Sorry, probably maybe. I don't know. Palace might go back in for him, because they like their holding midfielders at the moment. Look at Walton and stuff. So,
true.
He's got that quality, no doubt. So I don't think we'll be getting him. Like I say, we need a massive overhaul of the midfield. I know we've got like McAtee and that, but he's more attacking. We've got Nakamba, but we need some more. We need a lot of strength in there, especially in the Championship.
We need at least 2 or 3 more midfielders.
We do definitely. So I'll just give him a 6 as well.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. 6.5 says Jackie, same as me there. And then moving on, we'll start off with Chong. I mean, he had an effort in the second half, good run, blocked. To be fair, he had a few of them efforts, where he's going forward, trying to make things happen, but wasn't quite there. But like I say, I think next season he'll be very good. Like I say, especially, I didn't even say it with Chio as well. Chio was playing for Rotherham, who, not been great when they've been in the Championship. So, and he was doing that well. It just makes me feel, for a team, that should, be competing in top 6. We all know that they should be doing, standing out even more in that sense. So yeah, Chong in this game. Do you know what? I'll go over 7 for Chong.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.5. I know I heard that he was getting slated on certain platforms and that, but
yeah, that's
right. I think he's come on a lot since he started being in the starting 11, and he's definitely got ability. Maybe he needs to bulk up a little bit, possibly, if that's possible, or things like that. But he's real quality, and as you said, he'll definitely do well in the Championship, 100%. So
I was going to say we'll be singing to Birmingham at Teddy apart, but we won't because it went down. Unfortunately, for that sense, that would have been good there, but is what it is. Chong 7. So again, Jackie's on the same wavelength as me there. Moving on, we'll go over to Morris. Obviously, got the goal, and yeah, I felt he was decent. In this game, obviously throughout the season, massive shout out to him, especially ever since he's took over the armband. Obviously, due to the unfortunate situation with Lockyer and stuff like that, and yeah, I felt he was good in this game. Obviously, he's got the top scorer now in the Premier League, 11 goals. I think that's really good. Considering he's struggled a lot up front because of the type of player he is. It helps when Elijah's there, for example. So yeah, 11 goals, first season, debut season in the Prem, that'd be good. And he's a player that I'm more than confident will stay next year. Especially when he said that thing against West Ham in his post-match. We will be back. It just tells me that he's going to stay and stuff like that. So he'll be good again in the Championship, and stuff like that. So yeah, this game, again, I'll go with another 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Scored a penalty. Was holding up the ball at times well. Had that good opportunity. Took it down well, and I think that save from Leno. And then I nearly had a scrap with Robinson, or I can't remember.
Yeah. I think it was.
He tried to take him out, and Morris knocked him out. That was quite funny. But yeah, captain stepped in as captain as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna give him a 7.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we know it'd have been difficult, especially for him, because obviously he's very, very close with Lockyer. Obviously, everyone is, but like they're proper close, aren't they? So yeah, big up to Morris, 100%. Jackie's gone with the same. Big up to Luca as well. So big up yourself. And then moving on to Elijah. Now he had that chance, didn't he? Like I say, good save by Leno. I mean, like I say, it's a save he'd probably make. Tried to get in behind. It didn't quite work out in this game, except that one time. So yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one with Elijah. I'm not going to go too low. I'll go 6.5.
Yeah, I'll just give him a 6. It's pretty flat. Obviously that chance, but other than that, didn't really, see the Elijah that we know. And maybe there's a lot of interest in him. I think, because he's got that presence and that power in the air and stuff. So I could see potentially him leaving, but for an average fee, probably 10, 15, 20.
Exactly what I'm thinking, 15 to 20. Yeah.
Yes, but we'll definitely need to. Yeah, we probably got Taylor coming back, but we definitely need to sign, a decent striker. Definitely,
yeah,
100%. Especially in the Championship, if he does go, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have got Morris, but you need the backup man. And
come on to help him with
throwing that. Obviously, he's probably going to stay for another season unless same thing is like he wants to play regular first team football, and someone comes in and but yeah, we need to start striker. We was calling him for it in January anyway, but obviously didn't really have the room in the squad at that time. So, but 6, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing is, as much as I feel Taylor definitely make that step up, I even said I believed he can make a step up in the Prem, but you need someone with, I'd say, that experience and know-how if Elijah was to go, to help Morris as well, because we know, Morris does struggle, when he's by himself quite a lot. So, and it's just because of the type of player he is, flicks it on and stuff like that, and there's not really anyone there sometimes, unless obviously Elijah's in or someone like that. So, yeah, totally agree. 6.5 for Elijah, says Jackie. Then moving on to the subs. We'll start off with Johnson. I thought it was a calm and composed performance from him when he come on. Done the simple things, well, I felt. Like I've said, he's going to be a massive part of next season, playing more regularly. I do believe that. And yeah, I felt he was pretty decent in this game. So I'll go 6.5 for Johnson.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5. Like, yeah, we let in a few goals and that, but he did. He is definitely a starter again, another defender that we're going to have next season, because he'll definitely be starting pretty much. I think, well, even if he's not, he'll be definitely on the bench and he'll be coming on more. And we've got to do that for him. He's definitely got the quality. He got stuck in as well. Yeah, he got a yellow card, but we needed that grit a little bit.
And I did, in the sense of the grit, I did like that tackle. Obviously, not if it was like a more important game, but I like that the passion sort of thing.
Yeah, he's going to be. I think he could be decent for us next season. Can play in a number of positions, I think, at the back as well. So that's good. Hence why I'm saying, like, I don't know if we'll sign another defender, maybe one.
I can't think of
we're all right for defenders with Anderson coming back, and obviously probably Lockie is not going to play, but we'll have Burke. We probably should keep hold of Mengi. Osho looks like he's going to get another contract. So, but I thought he'd done all right. Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jackie's gone the same. Then moving on to Ruddock, we're just hoping, like we said earlier, when he come on, he get that goal. Obviously, didn't quite do that, unfortunately. But yeah, he got on the ball a few times. I think I'm just going to go with standard 6, though.
Yeah, same.
There you go. And then Shea, really good 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously, good save, like I say, that clearance and stuff like that. And he was loving it, the fans loving it as well, seeing him on. And yeah, it's a pretty decent cameo from him, like I say. So I'm actually going to go for Shea. I'm going to go with 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7. Mate, could probably potentially give him more. He got a clean sheet at the end of the day and that.
First game in the Prem, clean sheet.
Yeah, and that's good to see, because he's got that experience and he ain't a bad keeper. It's just, I think he needs to play regularly, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because Krul obviously didn't hardly play at all. So I've got a feeling that, maybe he'll go somewhere else.
That's exactly what I said.
So he's a contract and that, but I don't know.
Because it's like you said, you don't really have 4 keepers, and it's exactly what I said.
He goes,
You usually, the most I've seen teams have is 3 and then the youth. Like, I think Man City, they've got 3 and then the youth, haven't they? They've got Carson, Edison, what's that other guy's name? Ortega, and then they've got a young one. Like, it's very rare that you have 4 keepers of that sort of.
So it's interesting, like, unless we're going to loan out Walton again, but I can't really see that.
Nah. And it's like we said, when we spoke to each other the other day, the thing is with him as well, he's played in the Championship. So give him that chance, even if he's on the bench and stuff. So.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I guess he probably deserves another year. And he did play well, 7.
Yeah, no, he did. Jackie's gone the same. 6 for Ruddock as well. He did well. And yeah, Jackie's saying get rid of him. Yeah, I think I'm on the same wavelength. If I had to pick out the 4, because Kaminsky, is obviously done well majority of the season. Shea, obviously, we've extended, so I can't really pick on that one. And like I said on the T-Boy Discusses the other day, a couple of months ago, I'd have probably said Searle because he was the third choice keeper and he weren't really getting a shout, but obviously he's staying. And then Walton, I want to see him. I actually want to see him. I don't want it to be a signing where we don't even see him or we see him like once. I don't think we've even seen him once.
No.
Seen him on the bench, but, not actually playing. So, yeah, for me, it probably would be him. And some people might say, oh, no, because the experience and that, but I don't know. Like, I feel where we are now, we're in an all right position. I understand the Krul signing last year because obviously he played in the Premier League, played in World Cup and stuff like that. But now I think we're all right, really. So if I had to pick out them, I'd agree. And I said that he think it will be him as well the other day. So that's that. And then Townsend and Woodrow, I'm just going to do them together. I'm just going to go with 6.
Yeah, same. I'm just going to give him a 6.
Yep. So there you go. They are the player ratings. Both us give Chio man of the match. So the points for the overall season now. Obviously, we didn't start it from the start, but it'd be good next year because obviously we would have started it from the start and stuff like that. But everybody's votes this season: Kaminsky 3, Barkley 7, Doughty 4, Lukonga 6, Chong 9, Osho 1, Chio that put into 4 in the end, Mengi 5, Elijah 2, Morris 5, Clark 2, Kabore 4, Woodrow 1, and Fred 2. So interesting. So in the end, Chong actually won. Nearly got to double figures. One more vote and he would have got to double figures. Like I say, we started this towards the end of the season. So yeah, Chong won it, Dad, out of the players.
That tells you a lot because, at the start of the season, he started and then he sort of didn't, he weren't really doing a lot at times. And then, as we said, towards the end of the season, he really picked up. Barkley, as soon as Lukonga got injured, he didn't seem like he was in the same vein of form, etc. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Chong probably deserves it. And as we said, it was like over halfway through the season, wasn't it? So,
yeah, well, later on in that, later on. So. And then me and you, Dad, it remained 10-9 for a lot of weeks. Obviously, I said 1-1. Both said a draw in this game. Obviously, I said 1-1. You said 3-3. You were closer than me in that sense. So, yeah, it'll be interesting, like I say, next year. So we'll be starting it from the start. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that is at the end of the season. But yeah, that's that. And then moving on to the other topics I did want to get into. So obviously, Barkley, it's a matter of time before it's announced, when the transfer window actually opens. Pretty much be done by then. You'll see him up with the Villa shirt. But it come out late last night that it's going to be for 2 million. And I'll share the screen now so you guys can see it. So a shout out to Luton Town FC News on Instagram. So according to reliable journalist Alan Nixon, Aston Villa have reportedly won the race to sign Ross Barkley on a 3-year deal. The fee is said to be low and basically just covers his wages from his season at Luton, which is around 2 million. So yeah, what does everyone make of that? I mean, me personally, at first I was like 2 million, but then I think about it, we did actually get it for free. So, we are actually getting money out of it. It's not a lot and maybe what people would want to get, but you got to look, like I say, we got it for free. So there is positives to say, at least we're getting something out of it. Do you know what I mean? That's how I see it. It was inevitable, especially maybe if we stayed up, potentially he would have stayed. I don't know, maybe. But, at the end of the day, it's like he said in the interview before the season ended, he wanted to try and, obviously stay up with us and, help keep us up and then, push on and play for a side in Europe. So, it's always going to happen. But yeah, I'm just happy that we're getting some money out of it, to be honest with you. But yeah, what did you make of this, Stud?
Yeah, we were talking before. Yeah, probably should get at least 5 on that. But as you get relegated, you can't really, deal with that. 2 million's decent, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of caveat in there, like if he scores like in Champions League or something like that, then we will get 50k. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't surprise me. But at the end of the day, we signed him for nothing. It said all his wages at cost. We've got that back, so we haven't lost anything, have we? At the end of the day, and he's done well for us, but going forward, like I think we'll recruit younger and better, and we probably maybe. I'm not saying we've got a replacement because he's he's a very very good player, but I think McAtee can step up. And we'll sign decent midfielders. I think we're starting to look abroad now as well, which is good. So I'm happy with that. At the end of the day, if a player wants to go, he's going to go, isn't it? So 2 million is what it is. It's better than nothing, isn't it? At the end of the day. So I don't know if he did have a relegation release clause or what. Do you know what I mean? But it's what it is.
Yeah. Like he says, 2 million is a lot. Yeah, when you think about it, like I say, like we have said, we got him for nothing. At first, when I saw it, I was like 2 million, but then I was thinking we got him for free. So, like I say, so you can't complain. You're actually getting something out of it. Usually it's been we've got someone for a decent money, and then we've got less when someone's actually bought him, and that could potentially be the story with Giles as well. With Hull. So.
Well,
there's things to look at like that
because they've got a new manager, and that's the problem. So, I think it was an option to buy. I don't think it was you have to buy him. So potentially he could be coming back to the club, and if Doughty leaves, then maybe he will be playing in that position. It's not. I think at the time. I think the reason we loaned him out is because he weren't happy. It sounded like he weren't happy with the amount of chances he was getting, etc. But we did pay 5 million for him, and if they're not willing to buy him, I don't think anyone else is going to pay 5 million for him.
No,
based on this season. So I think he'll end up staying with us, unless Hull, of course, do honour that and sign him. But I don't know about that. It's going to be interesting because obviously at the end of next month, the players that were out on loan are coming back, and then we'll sort them out. Obviously, they weren't necessarily in the release list, but they will be. Piera, I definitely can't see us keeping hold of him.
Yeah. We'll get into that because a lot of them names have come out. Stuff like
that. And is it Thorpe's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, that was inevitable for
Louis
me.
Watson, so. And even the players that are still under contract, you could still potentially see them going. If they're not going to get football, then you can still place them on the transfer list, basically. So let's not rule that out. But yeah, it is what it is. We knew he was going to go. I weren't expecting, less than 5. Well, more than 5, should I say. So at one point it was like, it's going to be for nothing. I thought, well, no, if he's under contract, unless he's got a relegation release, then yeah. So which obviously maybe he didn't then. But 2 million is 2 million, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll say we get money out of something that we didn't even buy.
When was the last time we sold someone for even 2 million anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone can remember. Let us know.
Yeah,
but anyone else who ends up going, they will be going for a lot more than that. So
yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah. And talking about that, Darth Vader's got a question here. I'll let you answer this, Dad. If Elijah gets sold, would you snap up Archer 14 million?
I don't think it's worth 14.
You're not a big fan of Archer, are you?
I don't think he's got the right attitude, mate. I don't think he's worth 14 million. I'd probably rather sign someone. If we had stayed up like Smodics, scoring 30 goals, whatever he scored. Morgan Whittaker from Plymouth. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's not like thinking they're the Billy Big Bollocks, basically. Because we better players. I know at times we've got to try and sign players that have got proven this, that, and the other, but I don't think his attitude's right. So no, I won't be spending 40. Definitely not on that. Depends how much we get for Elijah as well. To be fair,
yeah. I mean, it goes back to what I said the other day.
If it goes, it might not, but I do think they'd be interested in it. I do.
The minimum, and I said it on T-Boy Discusses the other day, I'd accept Elijah for is 15. Obviously, I don't want it to happen. I want him to stay. But 15 million for me, 20 at a push. But again, the 20 for me is more so if he had more goals. But obviously, I know he's injured. But if he had, like I said, 13 to 15 goals, then yeah, I'd say 20 million.
Yeah, I know me and Darth like kind of had that conversation and that like more because he scored his goals and that, but it's one season in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Whereas other players like even not Havertz and all that, they've been in there for longer. Do you know what I mean? So that's why the money goes up. Like Tony and that, like initially they were talking about 100 million. No way, he'll go.
Oh yeah,
they're not going to get 100 million. No, not in this day. Not now. FFP's like all strict on that. They might get 50 if they're lucky, but do you know what I mean? He's starting for England and things like that. I'd say we'd probably, if he does go, we'd probably get 12 to 15, I reckon. But no, we're signing Archer and be looking elsewhere. You never know. Other players might have. I'd rather sign Callum Wilson, for instance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get it for the experience, definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't think he's. Is he at Villa still? Is he that guy, or is he at Forest?
He was at shit. I think he went on loan to Sheffield United or went permanently. I know he scored against us, but I can't remember if he was on loan or permanently gone.
Like Ipswich have got the money. They're probably going for him, depending what happens with this merry-go-round and that. I do think I am surprised that Poch left. So they were starting to.
Yeah, that was mad. Shout out to James Redmond. Actually, I was on the phone to him the other day, and then it come up, and we were like, "What?"
No, I think he's been the best man for the job because the experience he's got. If you put Kieran McKenna in Chelsea, he's an excellent coach and that. But if they're not willing to listen to him and they carry on with their attitude and that, they're going to do nothing.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, honestly, if I was him, I'd say Ipswich, and I get. I was seeing some people talk about it earlier. Some people like, yeah, but you get these opportunities once. Yeah, but these teams are no, it's not even that. These teams are in the mud. Let's all right, I think Chelsea will do well next season. But in this current moment, you cannot sit here with confidence and say you can predict and say they're gonna get in the top 4, but you can't say that with confidence. And then the other team, Man United, come on, man. Come on, what's going on with them? Their stadium's leaking. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
People say, "Oh, you get this opportunity." Not if you're a good manager. If you're an excellent manager, you'll get that opportunity again. And it's a tougher task keeping Ipswich up.
Yeah, definitely.
If he can do that, then go. No one can really say anything. Do you know what I mean? We've obviously had we'll get Rob Edwards. Rob Edwards won't leave us. Not at this stage. Do you know what I mean? No. Why would you jump from? Yeah, they've probably got a bit more money and better, stadium potentially or whatever. But
nah. Just for the same thing to potentially happen.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Nah, it's not going to happen. And I'm not worried about that anyway because we've always got people on our road. We've already got the next man, Rob Edwards, on our list anyway. That's what Luton do.
Yeah, so that's true.
Obviously no disrespect to him, but I think it's decent.
Just have them plans in place.
This would be a real test for him to see how good he really is. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we're already second favourites, but it's just obvious at the moment. You've got to wait to see.
Summer,
if Leeds don't go up, then they'll probably jump into second. And if Company goes to Leverkusen, I don't know how he's
Munich, you mean?
That job, then because he signed all them players, and people forgetting Burnley spent whatever they spent. Like, they spent a lot of money.
I think like 100 million or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'd be a disaster. Man, who's your manager, Harry, Vincent Company. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's got that justification to be their manager.
No,
but it'll benefit us. In I don't think Burnley would do great, but I know that he's proven already, and if he can get him playing, then they'll be tough. They'll do all right. But if he goes, they'll be in the mud. And our manager ain't going to leave us for Burnley or Leeds or Southampton or anything like that, man. Definitely.
No.
So, yeah.
No, I totally agree. And that's why I haven't even spoke about it on T-Boy Discusses, because I just don't see the point personally, because it's just, I just can't see it happening unless it's a top, half Premier League team, but even then they won't come in at this moment in time. So I'm not worried at all. If I'm going to be honest,
you got the media to butt in. I've just gone on like one of the sites and Daily Mail online said Luton have been brutal and they've released 14 players. Most of them are young flipping scholars and stuff. You know,
most of them haven't even been on the bench.
They've had nothing, no part in the relegation whatsoever. So yeah, headlines like that, you know, pretty much piss me off. But,
yeah, just chat waffle. Half of them ain't even been on the bench, and they say waffle like that. Half of them don't even look at Luton because they just think we're shit on their shoe essentially. So all them newspapers, articles, bollocks, mate. I could do the same thing. I could write up a load of rubbish.
Yeah, you could. I could.
It's like me and my titles. I could put Elijah to I don't know who's been linked with Everton and thingy for X amount of money. No, I don't do that. That's not me. Yeah, I'm not in it for that. I do YouTube because I enjoy it. I don't do it to chat waffle like half these people do. All these clickbait titles and that. It's not even just football stuff.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing. But anyway, that's for another time, isn't it? I'm not trying to rant out here about that rubbish. But yeah, let's get into the last bit we want to talk about in today's episode, and that is the retained list. So obviously, we'll get into that. I won't get into it, you know, the scholars and that, but I'll get into obviously the players that were in and around, even if they weren't on the bench. You know, they were, you know, in and around last season, for example. So Luton Town can confirm our list. So obviously, talks like we said earlier over a new contract. Sorry, are going on with Osho. Which is an interesting one, like we said.
What's people's thoughts on that?
Yeah, let us know. I mean,
you know, I actually do like him, as you know. So if we can,
I love it. I love his passion.
You know, I think he'll be back for a full season in the Championship as well. I know he played quite a lot in there previously, but you know, I think it'll benefit him more. And he wasn't too bad in the Premier League as well at times. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people and the other ones. Well, we kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I say, Osho. I mean, I love his redemption story. You could say against Watford, you know, he got the red card. Even then, I thought he was actually good in that game because he's the only player that really showed, you know, the fight and the passion. And then obviously he got the goal in the you know reverse game against them. Obviously, Shea, like I say, I believe that has actually been extended now since this has come out. Like I say, Luton put something out earlier, 8th season or something like that. So, you know,
and the thing is with that as well, Krul is, what is he, 38 or something? Like, for older, like, Shea's still relatively, you know, young for a keeper still, you know, and he's good around the club.
36, Krul is.
Well, there you go. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say that he's probably going to go, and he hasn't exactly when he has played, he hasn't been great.
Done great, yeah. Exactly what yeah.
So I could say that we'd probably put him on the transfer list, and maybe, you know, that's been discussed and that. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think if it's any of the four, it's going to be him. And then yeah, obviously Potts, Berry, Fred, Elliott, Thorpe, and Musgrave. I can't lie, I completely forgot about Musgrave. And I do feel a bit sorry for Musgrave in the sense of if that goal stood against Blackpool, we could be sitting here in a different scenario. No, I'm not saying he would have started, but at least been on the bench and stuff like that. Because that would have actually confirmed the playoffs, wouldn't it? You know, without having to do it against Reading. So, you know, Elliott Thorpe, like I said, I always expected that. You know, he come back in January and he wasn't on the bench or anything. Or obviously, I know Fred come in, but again, you know, it's similar. Fred weren't expected to come in, was it? It's Tottenham away. Then I see him in the background. I was like, what? And then he was obviously on the team sheet that day.
I'd be interested to see if any of them players end up at
Charlton.
Yeah, I could see Potts going there.
Yeah,
definitely.
I could, yeah. I mean, didn't Nathan Jones sign Musgrave?
Sorry?
Didn't Nathan Jones sign Musgrave?
I think he might have done, but
Musgrave and Luar up front. Maybe you could see that.
Fred, you know, I'm not, obviously he's not going to be able to sign up with them, but I could see out of any of them, I can see Potts definitely going there.
Yeah, A lot of people saying Berry as well. I mean,
maybe. I think that
potentially,
probably play
because he
in.
know if he was to go there, no guarantee football, like first team football, like regularly.
Mm.
So that's the only way I could see it. But I don't know. I think he might go to the championship team potentially. But then again, it's not too far away, is it? So Charlton from Luton, so it might just be easy for sort of staying where he is, sort of thing. It's not overly far. So yeah, there's that, and then a few others. Obviously, Kabore and Lukonga obviously gone back. I mean, there was rumours. I don't know how true they were, but we potentially might look at getting Kabore again. I mean, like I said on the T-Boy discusses I did the other day, if you're basing it on his games after Aston Villa, then yeah, I probably would take him because it's a position since James Breeder we haven't been able to proper cement in the sense of it's always been loans or the backup options have been players that can do a job there, but it's not their main position. It's not ideally where they'd want to play. You look at Fred, for example. I mean, Chio, he does sort of play there for Ireland sometimes. So I think that's a bit different. But yeah, stuff like that. It'd be good to actually cement and have a person at the club, permanently for that sense. So, like I say, if you're basing it on how he was after, the Villa game, then yeah. Also, it could be similar to Hashioka in the sense where a championship could do him a world of good, playing there. Because the thing is, and it's like I said the other day, his sliding blocks are very good, his tackling, his stuff like that. But one thing that lets him down heavily is his awareness, and that's something I feel the championship could do him good there. He's not going to go to Man City, let's be honest. It's just not. Rico Lewis is coming through, behind Kyle Walker, who's, whether you like him or not, he's probably one of the best right backs, if not best right back in the Prem. So, yeah. And obviously, Lukonga, like I said, we touched on it earlier, so I'm not really going to go through that again. And then the loan deals away from Kenilworth Road do expire at the end of June for Campbell, Giles, Holmes, McAtee, Pebble, Piera, Taylor, Walton, and Louis Watson. Out of them, right now, I could probably see one, two, three of them being at the club, if I'm going to be honest. I'd love to say Campbell, but I don't think he's a Rob Edwards type player.
Nah,
In my
I'd say I still think potentially Giles, but definitely Holmes, McAtee, and Taylor and Walton.
Oh yes, yeah, Holmes as well. Four. Yeah, the ones I was thinking was same as you, Dad. Exact same as you.
Watson, Pebble,
They'll be
Campbell.
gone, yeah.
Definitely.
And shout out to Pebble actually, because I think he scored the other day out in
Yeah.
Scotland. I think I
Yeah.
see that he scored. So he might even go there permanently. I mean, that'd be an interesting move. I mean, like I say, shout out to him at the start of the season. I've got a picture of him. Get him on. But yeah, I could see that. Like I said, I just don't think Campbell's a Rob Edwards type player. Because when Rob Edwards come in, you didn't really see Campbell play often. I am gutted, about that because, obviously he got the goal which cemented the win for definite against Watford, and he was always that player that put in the shift, and I felt he would have done well in the Prem.
Well, you never know. Like, we're in the Championship. You need to put that fight.
Yeah, I'd love it. I'd love it. Campbell, man, he's just. I remember going Blackpool away, and I always mention it. Raining, and stuff like that. He's out in shorts and t-shirt. That's how you know he's that dedicated sort of player that will just put in a fight no matter what. Do you know what I mean? Windy as well. Oh, it's awful, mate. I was freezing, so God knows how he felt. But yeah, no, I hope we do, but I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, obviously Holmes, he'll be coming back in. We know that. We signed him in January. McAtee, yeah, he'll be involved. Taylor, obviously, can't wait to see him. Next year, and then obviously, hopefully Walton as well. The others, like I say, yeah, they'll be gone for me. So yeah, that's that really. The others is obviously the the youth squads and stuff like that. So overall, Dad, what do you make of that when you see all of that?
Yeah, most of it's a lot expected, isn't it? So the only questionable thing really is the goalkeeping thing. Like, there's four, so surely someone's going to leave, and I don't think it'll be Walton because he's done pretty well on his loan spell as far as I know. So and we signed him last season, last January, was it?
Yeah.
I think. So I can't really see him going anywhere. If anyone goes, I think it'll be cruel unless someone comes in for Kaminsky, and then you'll be thinking then Walton's maybe going to be number one then. But we'll see. And the others, yeah, expected. There'll be more to go. Players that are still there now: Woodrow, Ruddock. Who else? Probably mainly them, really. That are not probably going to be guaranteed first team football. So potentially they might be going. But we definitely we'll sign eight to 10 players, I reckon. Still.
Yeah, I reckon it might even be more. To be fair, it might even be.
Right, but I think so.
Like I say, there's definitely a massive overhaul that needs to be done in midfield. We know that. So I can see. I'm saying at least 3 midfielders coming in, maybe 4. I'll say we get 1 defender, I reckon. Keepers, I think, will be all right. We'll just get rid of one of them. And then strikers, again, it depends on the Elijah thing. Obviously, if he goes, then we'll replace him there. So other than that, because you got to think as well, we got loads of loan players. We had loads of loan players as well, actually. So a lot of them will finally, be able to in like your Taylors, your McAtees, and Holmes, and like you said earlier, Anderson. That'll feel like a new signing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff like that. It's all interesting there. But Dad, any final things you'd like to say before we wrap up?
No, again, big up Darth Vader. It was a pleasure meeting you, mate. And we'll meet up again at some point next season, and I'll do the same thing again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'll say hopefully we'll be able to go to a lot more games next year, Dad, in the Championship. I know we're already, even though the fixture list ain't come out yet, we're planning to definitely do Coventry. Obviously, I haven't even done that myself, and it'd be good to do that. Obviously, last time is when I had my boxing fight, so that's why we didn't do it. And I remember we was the first team in the whole of England to score that weekend. Lockyer as well. I think it's like first minute or something like that. So that's crazy. And that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Because obviously, we went down. Obviously, as a team played in the player final, so it'd be interesting the chants and stuff like that in that game from both sides. And yeah, their away end looks alright. To be fair, it's quite big and stuff like that, so it should be good. But yeah, obviously, if we don't go to a few games, I'm sure we'll be back with the vlog from Holmes, especially the say if we don't go to the Derby games, that'll be interesting, won't it? Yeah. So yeah, man, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Don't forget to smash a like if you haven't already. Do subscribe to the channel as well. A lot of new subscribers the other day from one of the T-Boy discusses, so do appreciate that. Do subscribe as well to the other channel if you haven't already, and yeah, follow me across all my socials and stuff like that. And yeah, regarding content, I mean, yeah, it's probably just if news comes out, really. Like when Barkley's official, I'll do a little video on that, stuff like that, really. So, and if anyone out of nowhere leaves the club or signs to the club, or it'll just be stuff like that. T-Boy discusses, and we'll still do hat shows weekly. Might potentially be doing quite a special episode next week, potentially. So yeah, we'll see what goes on there nearer the time. And yeah, that's about it, really, if I'm going to be honest. So big up to everyone and all of that. And until next time, we will see you lot in a bit. So take care and peace.